Welcome to Ely, Minnesota, my friends. Who's up for seeing some bears today? I'm actually pretty excited to check this out. I've heard nothing but good things about this place. They're gonna take us out to look at some bears up close. It should be fun. In the meantime, we're gonna look at some of the taxidermied bears. Polar bear. Here's a black bear. She said they love to dispel myths about the bears here. So we're gonna learn a lot. And yes, it is Minnesota, so camping with bears is a real thing. They're everywhere up here. So here's a viewing deck that occasionally said the bears have been very, very active, so. Here's their bear scale that they weigh the bears on. And it's outside, but it reports right over here. Weighing our bears helps us adjust each bear's diet, consultation with our veterinarians. Foods includes breakfast, dinner, and natural foods they find in the enclosure. Man, look at that giant one. There's a big old grizzly bear.
It's a scarecrow. So I should be over there in the view area. Check it out. Okay.
That's terrifying, even knowing it's passed away and taxidermied, it's still terrifying. Giant short-faced bear. It says this is a black bear, but it says they go through color phases. So that's why he's white. Or kind of a cream color. So this is technically the Superior Forest where we're at right now. It says if you're out in the wilderness, actually throwing a beach ball or something like that will scare them off. Also umbrellas or horns. Here they have black trash bags. They say to open them up and wave them over your head because they make noise and it scares off the bears. It actually says that they can be scared off easier than chipmunks. Oh, this is sad. This is a memorial for Ted, a bear who lived here to the age of 25, passed away in 2022. Old Ted loving life. There's Lucky. Lucky! Hi, bud. They said not to go beyond that fluorescent line, just to be safe.
Yes, if you're more than welcome to come up and you can step right to the line. We just want to make sure we're not standing over that. So you guys are good. And then this is Lucky. So we'll wait until we're all outside and I'll kind of go over Lucky's backstory, some history about our bears, as well as some lovely giant facts.
And there's one down there as well. They actually have 3 here.
Lucky, and then kind of wandering around in the background. That's because this is her entire space. She is here. She is the matriarch. Yeah, his 2 females are the boss. They decide, really, they decide who is allowed to be with them. It's up to her. These guys do not be. We're not allowed that with people. He was born in 2007 in Wisconsin.
They just have him in this small cage right now so we can view him for this tour. Normally they're in 2.5 acres. They're looking for each other.
These guys are going to be a little bit smaller than the classic bear you might be thinking of, like a brown bear or a
Peanuts up on the gate.
Lucky here, since he's walking around and carrying back all those good angles, how much do you think he weighs? Just throw out some numbers.
500 pounds?
500 pounds. Any other guesses? 250. Yeah, so he's about 400 pounds. So normally for a male black bear, you're going to have a weight range of about 125 to about 500 pounds. And the males are usually the larger of the two fingers. Some lovely enrichment here.
Big bear chase me.
We're exercising our minds and our muscles as much as we possibly can, giving them that really awesome lifestyle where they can be quite spoiled, but also to make sure that they are getting a ton of enrichment and making sure that their lives don't get too long, because they will stay here for the remainder of their life. And so, as you can see, he's eating and munching on a bunch of peanuts. Bottom and lower jaw, and that's actually called a diastema. And it's a gap between their premolars and their molars. And that's to make sure that he basically has like a built-in nutcracker.
Okay, so he just spits them out the side of the mouth.
Well, as he's doing right now with the peanuts, and get all of the nutrients that's inside. And that's
Whoa.
why the shoe itself isn't all super nutritious for them. And as you can see as well, he's really good about climbing, and that's because of those lovely claws that you just saw. They're nice and curved to make sure that not only can he climb fences to get up towards those peanuts, but also trees as well. It is a great source because all of the vegetation is another food source for them, not just nuts and things like that, but also leaves as well. They've also been known to kind of strip the leaves using the same exact method that they do for shelling the nuts as well. So going to run that branch all the way through their mouth. Now, the strength that Lucky has, as well as other black bears, it's not to try and chase after humans or anything like that. You probably have seen the Disney movie Brave with a giant, big black bear that was very scary. These guys are nothing like that, and black bears generally aren't. They actually have what's known as a prey mindset, but we also keep them as well as possible here. Look at is generally going to be, again, a little bit of a shorter bear. They're going to be about 2 to 3 feet on the shoulders if they're on all fours. But again, what you're seeing is that sometimes they can stand up on 2 feet as well to reach those high places. And these guys, front nose tail can be about 4 to 7. So these guys, their life expectancy / range that you might be coming across is about 21 to 37 years.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so they can live up to that age. Usually what you'll be seeing, especially with the male, is you're not going to be looking at as handsome of a male as he is, because usually they do come across other males and tend to fight for females, so they might have some scarring, things like that. But usually male adult black bears have learned over their life experience, especially if they are that old, to be able to pretty much not have to deal with people. So one of the reasons that adult black bears do die out in the wild is through hunting, crashes and things like that, but that's around 2 and 3 years old. So they make it past that, then they could very well make it up to about Lucky or even.
I left. Come back. Not right now.
Yeah, so that's a great question. So he was found basically wandering the streets. We don't know exactly too much about his past before he came to us, but he was actually deemed a nuisance bear. That's bear usually that were home. Unfortunately, if there's not space for a bear like that in any of the homes they look for, then they might potentially get euthanized. And so that was the case for Lucky, and that's actually where he got his name, is he did have an appointment to be scheduled to be euthanized. And the day of that appointment, we actually learned of him. And so he was really lucky to be able to go and actually take him from that particular area, make sure that he didn't have to do that or anything like that. And we saved him about an hour before that appointment.
All right.
So we're really lucky to have him, and he's really lucky to be here as well. Is to make sure that if there are other bears in Lucky's particular situation, then we're able to also rescue them as well. We do have space for up to about 11 bears, but we kind of only want to stick to 5. right, so do we have any questions for Lucky here? All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on to Tasha, who's been patiently waiting, and she definitely loves food, so she's definitely excited to see it. Yeah, so they do hibernate, but actually a little bit differently than some other animals. So the classic idea of hibernation, usually most people think of bears, but very different. So what you're going to be seeing in the black bear is usually going to be like a little but before they go into hibernation. But another way that you might think of hibernation is actually the way that squirrels and chipmunks do it. So that might be where they're going to be storing a bunch of food instead and not necessarily eating it to get that inside of their body. And so they'll store a bunch of food in like a tree. They're going to build their home. They're going to lower their body temperature, sleep a little bit, and then every few days or so, they will raise their body temperature back up and consume food to make sure they're maintaining that as well. But these guys, they do that differently. So this is Tasha Bear. She is our youngest bear here on property. She is 9 years old. Does anyone want to take a guess on how much do you think she weighs compared to Lucky? Yeah.
150?
150? 380?
How much?
Yeah, so she's actually about 330 pounds. Now, females, their normal weight range is going to be about 90 to 300, so she is a little bit overweight, so she's currently on a diet, which she is not happy about. She loves her food. And as you can see here, she is definitely wandering around. She's going to be looking for all those different items. These guys have an incredible sense of smell. They're 7 times stronger than bloodhounds. Yeah, so with Tasha here, she was actually born in Kentucky in 2015. And her story is a little bit more sad, unfortunately. So what happened was that she was found by a gentleman on the side of the road. Unfortunately, her mother had been hit by a car. And she was at an age, usually cubs will usually leave their mom about 16 to 17 months. She was not at that point. So she didn't really know what to do, so she just kind of, as well as her siblings, kind of hung around the mom. Kind of wanted to stay there, tried to nurse on that mother as well, and that gentleman found her, took her back to his 50-acre piece of land where she was able to live. He kind of raised her for about a year or so until she was ready to be off on her own, and then at that point, during that entire time, she actually made friends with a dog. So that was very fun. So she picked up a few canine behaviors, but generally what happened was that he actually, like a normal bear trying to replicate that cycle of life, tried to release her into a national park area where she could be a bear out in the wild. Unfortunately, because she was so used to people and she wanted food, she went right back up to the picnic area and asked for some food from some lovely campers. And if you can imagine, if you're seeing a bear walk up to you, you can get a little scared. And so there was definitely some news spreading around that there was a bear wanted people looking for food. And so he did find out about that gentleman. He went back up to the area, called her name, and she came running.
Oh my God.
And so she did go back with that lovely gentleman, but unfortunately in Kentucky you're not able to have bears. And so what happened is that, again, she was picked up from the gentleman. She was brought to us because she was not able to be released back into the wild as she had proved. And then she is now here in her forever home as well. And she was more than happy to teach a lot of our other bears a few of those dog-like behaviors as well, including begging.
Behind the orange line. Behind the orange line. We're not allowed to be.
And then usually we'll try to sneak that into some of their favorite foods.
Fish oil.
So things like, again, like dried fruits as well. Dried pineapple is definitely a favorite for these guys. Watermelon, they love that as well. Things like that we like to kind of mix up a little bit more and make sure they're not getting used to anything. And then also, again, with these guys, they do most of their own grooming, especially Tasha here. She loves to just kind of sit in all of these water tubs that we intend for her to drink water out of. And she just loves to take, we like to call it Tasha's tub time. And she'll just hang out in there. Usually that's why there's an empty one over there as well. So she does have that accessibility, but also still gets to get her water as well. These guys do drink a lot of water, especially right before hibernation, and that's to flush out all of that all of the nitrogenous waste that they might be having to deal with right before they go into hibernation as well. And Holly's making her appearance. You just can't let Tasha have all of the thunder.
Now, why do you keep Holly separate?
So we keep Holly separate mainly because Tasha actually likes to be kind of, actually Lucky was out a little bit before we did our tour, and for the tour we did offer him some food because we like to rotate. Now unfortunately Tasha and Lucky, they don't really get along super well, so actually before or a little bit after the tour, if you guys want to stick around and actually watch from the large windows, you might actually be able to see we're going to release Tasha into that area. But Holly tends to get along with both of them, and again, this is her space. She just lets everyone work here and live here, that she kind of gets the full reign whenever she wants. They like to call a bluff charge if they're a little nervous, a little tension, especially if Lucky is on the other side of that gate. That might be something that they might do is they're trying to they might even vocalize a little bit, but not what you're probably going to see with movies where they're going to roar or anything like that. It's actually not a vocalization that Blackbird do. Instead, they do like a gurgling sound or even a teeth clacking is another way that they're able to vocalize as well. So Tasha here is being a fantastic ambassador for you guys today and showing you guys a lot of different things. One being how sticky her tongue is, very sticky to be able to get and access different things, reach areas that are a little bit higher up. Black bear's tongue can be about 8 to 9 inches long. A ton of other vegetation for her to munch on as well. We do again appreciate you guys being here because everything you guys able to be here in the gift store or anything like that, it goes directly to helping us take care of them. So we really do appreciate it. If you guys are interested in checking out the International Wolf Center around all the way across town, they will teach you so much about wolves, and it's really awesome to hear their tour and to see their ambassador wolves that they have there. So definitely go check them out as well. And again, we do appreciate it. And I guess we're going to go ahead and release Tasha. Looks like she's figuring it out.
Oh, it's opening the gate over there, yeah.
She wants to. Alright, there she goes.
Yeah.
So there's Lucky again. And look, Tasha's down there. We'll probably see her from the viewing area when we go back in. Or Holly, sorry. Holly's all the way down there. Down by the scale.
And then Sharon thinks because of my
There she
beard,
is.
maybe. She went to 2 different human care places before she went here. And they were really nice to her. We can go on the deck too. It's a nice, get bird's eye view.
Don't worry, the bear's not inside.
So you only ever put one?
No, this year we're doing all 3 out together.
All three go
Yeah.
together?
Yeah.
So it's Holly, Tasha?
Yeah.
I'll let
But
you
everyone
talk.
said.
Do you know anything about bears?
No, just a little, I guess. I know. She'll usually shake it off. But it's hot today, so. Is it just Holly already?
Against the tree, you gotta love it.
We had one room that's bum against our car.
Pretty much rubbed all the bark off that tree.
That one got
Yeah. Well, just I saw it. I figured you had to see it.
That was quite a tour, and their gift shop is pretty amazing also. They have all kinds of cool stuff to check out, including Dorothy's root beer and Ely, Minnesota's famous huckleberry honey. Huckleberry popcorn? Interesting. And of course, help support the Bear Center. This place is awesome. Gives them a home. Oh my gosh, what a blast this place was. They are doing some great things here. I'm glad I got to see it. I'm glad I got to hang out with some bears for a little while, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you're in the area, come check it out, learn about some of the lives of the bears here and help support them from the North American Bear Center. We'll see you next time. Have a great night and goodbye.